Hey, I've got two brand new releases from Oaklore Distilling in North Carolina. This is their story series, Wheaten Amber, and this one is their 4-grain bourbon. Let's check them out. Let's go. All right, hey everybody, thanks for being here. We're going to check out two brand new offerings from Oaklore Distilling. My buddy Matt went to North Carolina, visited the distillery, and got their story series, Wheaten Amber. This one is chapter number 1, proof 93, APV 46.5. And all it says it's their Wheaten Amber story series. See, wheated whiskeys have always been among our family's favorites. Meticulous detail go into preparing each wheated release. This story series will always have a special place in our heart. We hope you love it as much as we do. Enjoy. Pretty short and sweet on the bottle, doesn't tell us too much about it, but that's all right. Let's look at the other one. It is the 4-grain straight bourbon whiskey. I like all the detail that it has on it. It gives us the specs. This is batch number 4, 94 proof, 47%, 74% corn, 5% rye, 11% wheat, 10% barley, aged for over 4 years. We believe each grain has a story to tell, as do you. As stories come together, a greater story grows. Enjoy.
Oh, what does that matter?
Alright, crack this bad boy open. Cork pop. Ooh, nice. Alright, let's pour the 4-grain into the one with the Northwest Bourbon sticker on it because I really like 4 grains. I don't think I've ever met a 4-grain I didn't like. Alright, cork pop on the story series. Nice. They've got some high-pitched cork pops over there at Oaklore. And I'm going to get into this Wheaten Amber first because it is a wheated bourbon whiskey, and we're going to try that one out first. It does not have the mash bill on that one. It's pretty light in color, almost like an apple cider. It's not very dark. Oh, I like the smell though. Get some crafty notes of some young grains, some corn, and some barrel. A little bit of sweetness coming through. Let's take it right to the palate. Cheers, guys. It hits pretty light on the palate at first, but the viscosity is nice. A little bit of a Kentucky hug going down. This one is the 93 proof. Go for one more. There's a little bit of vanilla up front, but nothing too strong. Across the whole flavor spectrum, it's pretty mild. It's pretty mellow and just easily sippable. This is a whiskey that I would drink if I was watching a movie or something, to where I could just sit back, relax, and focus on something else with a nice drinkable glass of whiskey in my hand. Now, I don't know what other offerings they have or they're going to put out under this story series, but the Wheaten Amber is nice and easy to sip. I think it's a good craft whiskey. I would not mind paying $40 to $50 for this bottle. I heard from my buddy that it is more than that, which I would discourage if I was going to talk frankly to the distiller themselves. But let's move on to the 4-grain straight bourbon whiskey, 94 proof. All right, the color on the 4-grain is not very much darker than the Wheaten Amber. Ooh, the nose is way different. There is butterscotch jumping out of this glass. The nose on the 4-grain bourbon beats that story series Wheaten Amber hands down. The nose beats the brakes off the other one. I really like that nose. Let's go into the palate. Cheers. At the very front of the palate, the nose translates beautifully. A lot of those sweet butterscotch notes, but then it fades back and gets into a bitter wheat, like almost like a sourdough, towards the back of the palate. So the 4-grain straight bourbon does not have as good of a finish as the Wheaten Amber, but the nose and the front of the palate are better. The second sip gave me even more of those hard butterscotch disc candies that Grandma makes too much noise with at church. So like I said, I think that the nose and the palate is better on the 4-grain bourbon, but the finish is much better on the story series Wheaten Amber. And so if the two of them were side by side, at a reasonable price, I'd probably get the 4 grain over the Wheaten Amber. Let's see how it goes when you mix the two of them together. See if we can get a good finish with the other good characteristics of the nose and the palate. Let's try it mixed. Now that has an interesting contrast. That's fun. So if any of you guys are on the East Coast near North Carolina, if you know of Oaklore Distilling, go down and check them out. I know that they are a really new distillery, but they are obviously expanding a lot. Because just a few months ago when I tried some of their whiskey before, they did not have nearly as many offerings available as they do now. That tells me they are experiencing rapid growth, which is really exciting. So if you get a chance in the North Carolina area, go down and check out Oaklore Distilling. I think their stuff is pretty good, as long as you can get it for a reasonable price. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for watching this quick review. Remember, earn it, protect it, and enjoy it.